Welcome back. This is James Duerr, your host of the San Antonio Entertainment Show, and we are continuing our, there's just so many events we're talking about with the San Antonio Riverwalk Association. We have Maggie Thompson. She's Executive Director. Welcome back, Maggie.
Thank you, James.
And we wanted to, before we get into more events and that's going on, tell us about how people can help being a friend of the Riverwalk.
Well, we just started a nonprofit, a charitable nonprofit called Friends of the Riverwalk. So many parks and rivers have those organizations.
Exactly.
And it allows us to pour more money into programming. And we also do scholarships. We have a scholarship at UTSA. It's an architectural preservation scholarship.
At UTSA?
At UTSA.
Not A&M?
Not A&M.
Okay, we got a little Aggie Longhorn rivalry going on here.
UTSA.
So it does for scholarships, probably for the education of the river.
Yes, absolutely. And we're going to start a hospitality tourism scholarship. Yeah.
So important.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the lifeblood.
Big to San Antonio.
You were saying earlier is $3.5 billion impact that the San Antonio River has. That's amazing.
City. Yeah, it is amazing. The jobs it creates, and then the tourism dollars, and then the taxes on that. You know, it affects roads and it affects so much of the infrastructure in the city.
Yeah. So that type of impact. If somebody wants to help and be a friend of the Riverwalk, how do they do that?
They can go to thesanantonioriverwalk.com, and then there's a section. Friends of the Riverwalk, and they can just click on that and donate and become a friend. They can donate a certain amount, or they can become a friend. It's just $35 to be a friend for a year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, not bad.
And of course, any amount is appreciated.
Any amount is great.
And then tell us about, you were talking about lanterns earlier. What is this?
I love this one. Well, we have a wonderful event in the summer now. We've moved it to the summer. It got too cold, where we put wishing lanterns in the river, and you put your hopes, your dreams, you draw on it. You can do whatever. And then we launch them all at the same time, and they're all lit up. They're beautiful. We get lots of people down there for that. It's just a really heartfelt event. And then in January this year, we'll do a 2-week event called Parade of Lanterns. So every night for a couple of hours when it's dark, we have 10 boats that have humongous lanterns like you would see in China or Thailand.
Right.
We have a local artist that builds them for us, and they float for a couple hours each night, and they're beautiful.
And about what time of year is this going to be?
Next year it's January 25th through I think February 8th, 2 weeks of it every night. And it's free. All of this is free to the public.
So if you want to do a stay vacation, you live north or south of San Antonio, you can come here, stay on the Riverwalk, and see that gorgeous presentation.
Or if you live here locally, you just come down for dinner, come down, have a beverage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beverage of choice.
Yeah, exactly. And let's talk about dining. What about drift and dine? What is that all about?
That's great. Well, you know, the Riverwalk has so many wonderful restaurants, and we always kind of get a little pushback, said, oh, it's expensive on the Riverwalk. Really, it's not. It is not. And you can find $5 parking. We have parking Tuesday nights for free. And so it's a wonderful way to promote our restaurants. So over 3 nights, we promote 21 restaurants. You get on a decorated boat and float around. And that night you go to 6 or 7 restaurants, and you get to sample something from each. And then you get back on the boat and float to the next one. Oh. We sell out. That one sells. This will be our 3rd year. Next September is when we do it. And we've sold out the last 2 years. So it's really one you have to get in on.
So when can they get in on it?
I think we turn that on, or we turn on ticket sales in May.
In May. Okay, so put that on your calendar. May, Lantern Celebration, January 24th, and May, do the Drift and Dine. And what else that, I want to know, because I live on the Riverwalk. And you have where you drain like the main section this year. And I never catch that. I always want to go look. And so how quickly do y'all do that?
So they usually do it over a weekend. They try to do it, and this year it's just the main channel that's the deepest part of the river. We find a lot of parade chairs. We find scooters now. We used to not, but now we find scooters, a couple of dead cats. We really don't find dead cats, I'm kidding, but it's amazing. People will call us and say, hey, my girlfriend was mad at me and threw her engagement ring in there. Can you find it? I really have had those calls. And we don't seem to ever find those, but...
Do you find any Aggie rings?
No.
No, okay. I was fishing down in
They
Corpus.
usually throw those away if they find them.
Oh, come on. I don't even know if Longhorns get, you get that little like Cracker Jacks one. But real quick stories. I was fishing down in Corpus one time, and I threw my ring out and went to a channel. And I dove in and you can't see, sometimes you can't see anything of that, and all the silt and everything. And I swam, we swam around holding my breath for a while. And after about half an hour, I found my ring.
You found it was meant to be. Yeah. Well, we'll have you do that.
That's the type of dedication that Aggies have.
Well, we need you to come look for some things on the river when they drain it. I know that somebody would appreciate that.
Send me a text. I like to see it. Like I said, y'all are so efficient. You get it done and
it's
all
really
that.
cool to watch,
and I tell you what, the Riverwalk, I have to bring this up. When I was growing up, it seemed like the Riverwalk was like, not very clean, but now it's so full of fish and turtles and birds. The whole Riverwalk is amazing right now. I mean, there's been, whatever the city's done to maintain it has been amazing because we have so much wildlife. And I live at the Pearl.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, I'm talking about right there, you have all the wildlife. And then the Mission Reach is amazing. And that's all natural. So you want to go to I call it candy ass part. That's the Pearl. Everything's perfect. And then you go to down with the Mission Reach, and it's all wild.
It's just beautiful.
You go kayaking, you go bird watching. They have so many species of birds down there. It's amazing. So the San Antonio Riverwalk is a gem.
Well, I would love to take credit, but that's the San Antonio River Authority. They get the federal dollars. They have the engineers that do all of those extensions and keep the quality and the wildlife perfect for us.
But because of the San Antonio Riverwalk Association, the city has the money, the county has the money to make those type of changes because we're bringing that tourism.
Because we're bringing those dollars,
Yeah. So take
we all work together with each of the organizations. We all work together.
So we've got about a couple minutes left. What else would you like to tell the public about the San Antonio Riverwalk?
Well, it's a wonderful, like you said, a staycation place to go. You can't go wrong. We get so many cities that call us wanting to build a Riverwalk in their city, and so we'll say, come on down. It's really hard to replicate it because it would be so expensive now to do. But
at A&M, I got an engineering degree, so I understand the complexity of it. But the technical challenges they have with this tunnel that they built, what was it, 60 feet wide,
25 feet,
20 feet wide,
25,
and then 100 feet deep, and it reroutes it, so we don't have any flooding down there ever.
Right. So, and that's a wonderful thing to point out because sometimes we'll see pictures where it's drain runoff, and people think it's flooding on the Riverwalk. Where the restaurants are, it will not flood. We have floodgates, and then we have the tunnel that shunts it down south, where you're talking about where you can kayaks. That's flood control for the river.
But the vision that the city had with the
River Authority,
is amazing.
They did that, those engineers.
And, and I think the city of San Antonio has done the same thing in the county with the medical center. I mean, when the medical center was proposed, everybody was against it. But they went ahead and they went ahead with it. The county did, and at the risk of losing their jobs, and it turned out to be fantastic. You can see it, over here to our west. Yeah. So, so tell us some more. We got a minute left.
Well, I'll talk about Rio Magazine.
Oh, Rio
That's
Magazine.
so wonderful, Rio.
So we're a high definition video. You can find us all over the internet.
Right, and we publish about 35,000 copies a month. It's a tourist magazine, and it's free. A lot of apartment buildings, but a lot of restaurants, hotels downtown. We'll keep it in their locations. But we also have it online on our site. We have an electronic copy. And cool thing about it tells you what's going on, and it has coupons in the very back. So if you come down and you want to get the less expensive meal or beer or ice cream or something, there's some great coupons in there. So we'd love to point that out. It's a wonderful resource. You can have that. And you know how to read? You would tell you now.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, just check.
I was learned well. So...
Yes, you can have that. So Rio is a wonderful resource.
Well, thank you, Maggie. And we hope to have you on again.
Despite
being a long one.
Right. Thanks.